Big news coming in from Uttar Pradesh. Yogi Adityanath government has reopened the 1978 Sambhal Riot case. The 1978 Sambhal riots, and a lot of it then was reflective on the demographic change as well in Sambhal, where there was an exodus of the Hindu families. And now what happened to the criminals who had targeted the Hindus then? Were they brought to book, or irrespective of any community, those who were involved in arson and clashes? Sambhal top cop has been asked to report within the next 1 week. Just to give you a background, yes, we are talking about an incident 46 years ago, but it's very crucial to the political social situation in Sambhal, where you see a lot of excavations, rediscoveries, and simply the surveys that had happened that had seen violence and arson in November. Almost 150 people were killed in the riots in Sambhal 46 years ago. Yogi Adityanath says that there was an anti-Hindu bias in an investigation that was done then, and those who perpetrated the crime did not face the law. Samarth Srivastav is joining me for the latest on that. Samarth, good morning. Why do you think Yogi Adityanath feels like it's important to go back 46 years, 1978? Because Akhilesh Yadav, who's been a former CM, SP chief, says, let's move on to the future. Why go back so many years? What is the reason you think that UP-CM this time believes there is a need to look back?
The UP government has initiated a process to investigate the 1978 communal riots that happened in Sambhal. The Deputy Secretary of the Home Department and the SP of the Human Rights Commission have sent a letter to the District Magistrate and the SP of Sambhal seeking a report. That too, within a week, the ASP of Sambhal has been appointed as the investigating officer who will submit the report to the government within a week. This development comes after Srichand Sharma, member of the Legislative Council, wrote to the government demanding an investigation into the 1978 riots case in Sambhal. As we remember, Yogi Adityanath raised this particular issue in the recently concluded winter session in the UP Vidhan Sabha. Also, it's worth mentioning that the 1978 communal riots in Sambhal had displaced many Hindu families and some temples were locked down. Recently, a temple that was locked since 1978 was reopened, sparking a political debate. And also we saw how Akhilesh Yadav stamped government over the same and clearly said that why to talk about the past when we have a future to build. It seems that Yogi Adityanath government is in no mood to pay mercy to those things happened in 1978, and that's why after seeing Yogi Adityanath raise this particular issue in the UP Vidhan Sabha during the winter session, there is no stopping to this particular case, and an inquiry has also been initiated, of which our clear report will be coming within a week. Back to you.
Stay on with me. Stay on with me. Remember that the reason that when this recent excavation took place, there was actually an anti-encroachment and a drive over electricity theft that led to the rediscovery of a temple which was tucked away, closed for many years. And that led to a realization of what happened in 1978. A lot of Hindu families were forced to leave this place in Sambhal after there were communal clashes that had taken place. And Yogi Adityanath, even in the assembly, said, what happened to those who had targeted the Hindus? Were they ever brought to book? Was there any investigation done properly? Akhilesh Yadav has said, why are we looking back so many years? Let's move into the future, look at how the present situation is in Sambhal. But looks like Yogi Adityanath has found a lead, or believes that there is a reason that we need to investigate again 1978. Anila Singh joins me. She's a BJP leader in Uttar Pradesh. Anila Singh, tell me this. Why do we think that it should be reinvestigated? 1978, many would say, is a long time back.
My Ram to all, and why it should not be, madam? Why it should not be? Don't you think those who have lost their loved ones, don't you think those who have lost their properties, those you think that
yes,
who had left the area, exodus happened, they should get the justice now? They should get the justice now. And if there is a state head, if there is a chief minister who is coming up front and he is saying that we will get it investigated so that truth should prevail, so that justice should be given, and you are saying why it should be investigated again after 46 years? Why it shouldn't be? Or we should sit like a statue?
Fair point. Anila, do you also believe
is this the work of the chief minister of any state?
Sure. So do you believe that in 1978, the incident that happened, and especially because the Hindu families had to flee, demography changed in the area in Sambhal, could that have a connection to the recent arson violence that we saw in November, or the excavations or the drives that are happening? Do you think there's a possible link, or could it just be a separate incident being investigated?
So this is the character of the people who love to create riot ruckus in any of the area. And they use people from this particular religious community. And then they come up and they show that they are the advocates of this particular religious community. That we are Mai-Baap of you and we are there to protect you. And Bharatiya Janata Party is one political party who is never ever going to give you any support. But I always say whenever the investigation happens, whenever there is an inquiry, after that report is submitted and rest is the work of the legal system of this country. We say that we live in a democratic setup. Is this a democratic setup? We say we live in a secular country. Is this a setup of secular country? What type of truth was prevailing earlier? What type of appeasement was prevailing earlier? We have a chief minister in Uttar Pradesh who knows how to deliver the truth and justice, and this is what is happening in UP, and that is the biggest problem. That is the biggest problem with the political parties like Samajwadi, and we least care about them. And this is going to happen. Investigation is going to happen, and justice and truth will prevail.
Why do you think then the Samajwadi Party is so eager to tell the BJP, and because SP was in government earlier, to not reopen the files that have been closed in 1978?
Because they want to show that they are the Mai-Baaps, they are the Akas of Muslim community. They want to show that. Do not worry, we are ready to kill. We want to do it again, what we did during the Babri movement. We got the Sevaks killed. We can do it again for you because we love vote bank. So this is what is Samajwadi Party. But again, I am going to repeat, for Yogi Adityanath ji in Uttar Pradesh and for Modi in the center, it doesn't matter who you are, from where you are coming from, which caste or religious community you belong to. They strongly stand with the truth, and truth is going to prevail.
All right, I appreciate you joining us, Anila Singh from the Bharatiya Janata Party, and saying that arson and violence then and now should not be tolerated. It must be investigated, and Samajwadi Party cannot act as thekedars, and that law and order is being discussed here. Remember that 1978, in fact, I would say many in India did not know about it as much. And that also raises a question that were there certain incidents that were never allowed to come to the fore? Because it was when this temple especially was rediscovered, it led to a whole realization of what happened in 1976 and 1978, especially the communal clashes. And a lot of eyewitnesses today are starting to speak about it, especially the families that shifted at that point from Sambhal to other areas in Uttar Pradesh. Our colleagues are on the ground. They'll be tracking all that and more of what happens in Sambhal and what happens when the reopening of the Sambhal files will happen here.